The Church of Rock.
We have a really special guest on the phone right now that I really admire. I've always admired her music and guitar playing, her session work, and her work with bands like Fanny and the Pleasure Seekers. And I'm just really excited to introduce the legendary Patti Quattro. Hi, Patti.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. Are you in Detroit, or do you live in Detroit these days?
No, my heart is there forever. You can't beat Detroit, but I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay. Music City.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Tons of music here, too.
Yeah, the last time I was in Austin, boy, I was just overwhelmed with how many different options I had for music. Austin's just awesome.
Oh, it is, and my husband runs he does travel for all the bands and stuff, and I mean, he does Fish and Dave Chappelle and Arrows. He's done everybody. Ozzy, he's been in it for years. So he runs that out of here, out of Austin. And
that's a group that your business makes travel arrangements for like rock bands and things like that, right?
Oh, completely. We get them from A to B for over 30, 40 years now.
Wow. Yeah, I was reading about that online, and you guys have worked with all the big names, that's for sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
We were reading the history of your music and stuff, and of course, the Pleasure Seekers, 1964. Your first record came out in 65 or so. Were you doing music before the Pleasure Seekers, or were you just kind of getting ready to be in bands and practicing and all that good stuff?
We grew up in a family. My dad was a big band guy and just obsessed with music. He played everywhere in the Midwest. And my brother was a national TV star on Lawrence Welk. He's a keyboard genius. And then he turned to becoming a promoter in Detroit. And our family brought in the Stones the first time, Hendrix the first time, and put on numerous festivals and concerts and everything.
Wow.
It's a very rich history that we were nurtured with. And my dad's DNA went through the family. We were blessed with it. Because all the kids were, we got lessons and all that good stuff to, cut our teeth on.
Yeah, and
so it was pretty amazing, yeah.
Your brother's name is Mike, right?
Yeah, he's had quite a few albums out.
Yeah, you were with him, right? Mike's MQ Jam Band for a while after Pleasure Seekers.
Oh, yeah. I got to play flute and bass and guitar and help produce the album. So, yeah, we had a great time. Nugent was on it and other people from Detroit.
Wow.
We grew up playing with those homeboys. I mean, when you talk about Detroit, it's like, you got to imagine a Renaissance era that we grew up cutting our teeth in, and Motown colliding with the English invasion and acid rock, and then you mix that in with the raw, seething Detroit gritty energy, and, the music there was like breathing oxygen. We grew up jamming and playing with Nugent and Stooges and MC5 and Alice, just all of them. That was our homeboy.
Wow.
So it gave us a huge background of how to play heavy.
Yeah.
We did not sound like girly girls playing Tinky Too.
Right.
That wasn't our band. Yeah. It just wasn't what we were taught on.
Well, we're big fans of the Stooges here. That's so cool that you got to play with the Stooges.
Oh, God, many times. Our drummer was, that was her boyfriend. And he used to be Mr. Frat Boy at college, and then he turned into Iggy. We even wrote a song about him.
Wow. Old Jim.
Oh, funny man. It's on one of the CDs, yeah.
That's funny. Were you guys good friends with Bob Seger as well?
Oh, God, yeah. All of them.
Nice. Sister
We
Tracy.
all played all around the circuit, the whole Midwest circuit, everywhere, yeah.
Wow.
And we got out of town early because girl bands, we were a novelty. So we started getting noticed, and we got out, and we started touring all over the country, sometimes earlier than the homeboy.
Yeah, and
then we would come back and play with them,
And the Pleasure Seekers morphed into a band called Cradle in around 1969, and your sister Nancy Quattro joined on vocals, right?
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. It was like a 1-2 punch. Susie had the soulful lower voice like a Joplin, and Nancy sang like Robert Plant. I mean, she could just wail.
Wow.
So it was a really cool common. Yeah, and we just sort of traded around instruments. Sometimes she played organ, or sometimes Susie did, and they traded off on bass, and it was just really cool. And
wow.
Then, that's when Mickey Most stepped in and came to town. which it's interesting because the story is different than what's been told. He brought Jeff Beck into Detroit. They came to see us, and Mickey didn't want to deal with a girl band because he had dealt with Genya Revan. And I guess they didn't, get on so well or something, I don't know. And so he just wanted to pluck Susie out and just have a girl with a bunch of boys.
Oh.
And Jeff Beck wanted to take me and Susie to England because he was real supportive of female musicians.
Jeff Beck?
Always was. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Jeff's one of your mentors, basically, right?
Oh, yeah. Jammed many times with him.
Wow.
But Mickey won out. He waited a few months, and he didn't want to break up a family band and the whole thing, And in the end, it was hard. We were on our last legs because the suits just, they just couldn't get behind women back then. They couldn't see the big picture. They just had such a small screen about women. They'd get pregnant, they'd fall in love. You just couldn't get past it.
Wow.
So we did get signed by Mercury and ABC Booking, and the president handled us in the Pleasure Troopers, and he only handled Billie Holiday and Louis Armstrong and the Pleasure Troopers.
Wow.
And yeah, so we had some good stuff behind us, but the record companies were the hard ones. The male bands loved it. They loved relating to girls that could really get up there and kick ass.
Yeah.
In fact, Leslie, he gave us, Leslie was a mentor of mine, too. I have one of his guitars that he gave me.
Leslie West from Mountain, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
custom guitar. I still have it.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sad the loss of him. Yeah, he was so kind and gracious and really supported us. All the male bands did. They just loved it.
What was it like working with Keith Moon?
Oh, my God. Oh, I have a story.
Oh, good. I was hoping there was a story.
We'll get to some... Oh, we have stories, believe me.
Because you played on his solo album, correct?
Yes, with Free. Yep.
Both Sides of the Moon.
We did.
Yeah, I have a copy of that. I love that record.
Yeah.
So what's
I'll insert the story. Go ahead.
No, any Keith Moon story would be highly appreciated.
Well, the funny story with Keith and Roger, we had a lot of connections. We hung out, and I'm in his book even. But we were in New York City in the early years recording when we were getting signed to Mercury and all that. And we were in this famous hotel, the Gorham Hotel, and in residence was the Who, Ted and the Boys, the Blues Magoos, and the Jamaican, oh God, I'm blanking on the name, the big one of the era.
The Wailers? Wailers?
Yeah. And next door to us, there was a construction thing going up, right? So it was, bare bones, girders and stuff. And one of the Blues Magoos came into our hotel room and let off some aerial bomb things. Next thing we know, and this is the day after Martin Luther King.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So there we are in the room, and he lets it off, and 15 cop cars come to the area. And all the band running through the hallway, just going bananas.
No.
They turned on the sprinklers. They were just mayhem.
What?
And they arrested everybody except the girls. We jumped in bed and pretended to be asleep. What's going on?
That's great.
And then the next morning, they go down to, they got out, they got their, they paid their fine and whatever, and they go to, the Who goes get on the bus to go to their next stop, and we're standing out on the street, Gab, and Keith says, oh, hold on, I forgot something, and he runs upstairs, and he throws the TV down to the ground, and out the window, and then comes down, says, okay, let's go. I mean, that was Keith. He was just
Oh, my Lord.
Crazy.
That was exactly the kind of story I expected. That was exactly what I expected you to say. Something like that.
Oh, there's so many. You got to realize we played so many festival and concerts that we played with. I don't know who we didn't play with in that rich classic era. So many bands. Because they were always, big bills with a lot of bands. So there were a lot of connections and jamming, and I mean, we jammed backstage with Jimmy Page and Robert Plant on Stairway to Heaven when they did Olympia.
Wow.
I mean, it's just amazing. Mountain, we used to have hide and go seek games at the War Memorial in Detroit, and they would come over for dinner, for the Italian dinner my mother cooked real good, and we would jam, and it was such a rich era.
Wow.
You have no idea.
So did you play?
I need to write a book.
That's what Sister Tracy was just wondering. Does she have a book? I said, let's ask her.
Yeah, I was just saying, does she have a book, and why don't I have it, and why doesn't she have a book, or is that something that you think about?
Yes, I am going to write the memoirs of those. It was just such an era to live. There's nothing like that era.
For sure. I mean, I always say I was born too late. I mean, that was just the time to be around for music. I can't imagine. And I think a book would be a great idea. I would definitely read that book.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
I gotta do it.
Back in 74 or so, you joined the band Fanny, which I believe was one of the very first female bands to get a major record deal, or maybe not, but I know that you joined Fanny for Rock and Roll Survivors, the LP, and a couple singles. How was that experience for you?
Oh, that was amazing. I was a Detroit rocker, a lot heavier bent toward music.
Yeah.
And Fanny were more very rock, but just a little a different vein. And June was leaving, so we did a tryout thing, and I went out there, and Bree came in, and she joined, and we just changed the sound a little bit, got a little heavier, got a little more, raucous. And we went on tour with Jethro Tull, and then we went on tour off through the States. It was really great. The album was fun to do. The two singles were very high on the charts. That was the highest Fanny ever got. They had a certain amount of success with Charity Ball, and they had 4 albums out. And you had this, the ridiculousness of how the media and fans did. I mean, you had your ones that, oh, Fanny won, and then the other ones that, no, Fanny too. I mean, it was always controversial, when you have replacements come in. It just got a little crazy. Bree and me were like, huh? And we look back, and Bree and I laugh. It's like we had the highest hit in our version. And not that means, it doesn't mean anything. I love those girls. I love the first Fanny. I mean, they're friends of mine. But, people do that. It's crazy.
It is what it is.
Competition or something.
I know, it is. It is. People in music, I notice, even unconsciously, people compete, and they don't even mean to do it, half the time.
I know.
We did have Bree as a guest, and she was a fantastic guest on our show. You were saying there's a Fanny documentary coming out, correct?
Oh yeah. That was the girl decided to do the documentary on all the Fanny recording artists, and we got our She Rocks award a couple years ago. Me and Bree and the 4 girls, the originals. And then Bobby Joe got involved, and it's called The Right to Rock. And there's going to be a major announcement on March 23rd of when the world premiere will be, and it's going to be at a major film festival.
Nice.
I was supposed to do this a year ago in Oregon. I can't remember the name of the city. It's down south somewhere, but they have a film festival all the time.
Oh, that's where we're at in Ashland, right here in Ashland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was it. I can't remember.
Yeah, they're famous for the.
Their film festival.
Yeah, they're very famous for the independent film festival here every year. It's a big deal.
Yes.
What a coincidence!
Yeah. And they had to cancel because of the COVID.
Aw, that would be great to.
So I was booked to come in. Bree and I were coming with Gene. Yeah.
Oh, man, that would have been great to meet you.
Well, it may come to pass again. I mean, there's going to be. It's going to gear up to a lot of interviews and different things because it'll be going to different film festivals.
Yeah.
And we're all in it. It tells the whole story of it, so that's exciting. And then we have it plays into, there's a lot of little things that were going on leading up to it. I mean, we have the Motivator CD, which I was a part of, because I'm the one that called Cherie and asked her to come in. I love lifting up projects, and Bree was doing that single with FWTE.
Yeah.
With the first original Fanny, right? So I thought, well, free. Why don't we bring in some other girls and stuff? And so I called Kathy Valentine. She lives in Austin, so she's a friend.
From the Go-Go's?
And I called Genya. Yeah.
Oh, Genya.
And she's right here in Austin.
And then Genya Raven, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I called her, and then I called Cherie. And Cherie was the only one that was able to come in person, but her and Bree hit it off, so that got done. And then I was involved in helping get that deal for them because I played on some tracks. I did some vocals. I helped them pick songs, but I'm in Texas. I mean, they're close to each other in L.A.
Yeah.
But I'm on one of the songs, a couple tracks I did, and the vocal ideas and stuff. So I had a large part of that.
Yeah,
and they brought in their family.
We have a copy of that in our library, actually, because Cherie came on to promote that on the show.
Yeah. That's right.
Sister Tracy has a question for you.
I do have just a question. I didn't know this, and I just found this out. But is your niece Sherilyn, the actress Sherilyn Fenn?
Yes.
That is so cool. I didn't know that, and I thought, I'm going to ask her if that's accurate or not. But that is so awesome.
Yeah, Twin Peaks. Yeah, she's definitely my niece. She lives in L.A. too.
Well,
wow.
Speaking of family, how is your sister Susie these days?
She's doing good. She's, pumping away. She lives for her career. I mean, it's been her whole life. And she's worked really hard to get where she is. And she just keeps pumping out the music. She's, been stuck with the COVID stuff, too, so she can't tour.
Yeah.
And, she had that documentary come out. And,
cool.
I guess it's doing well,
One thing people might not know about you, maybe they do, but you were lucky enough to catch the Beatles back in 1964. You got to see the Beatles live. Where did you see those guys play at?
Olympia, and that was the beginning of the Pleasure Seekers. And this story's also never told right. I went to it. I was with my friends. I was watching them all cry around me. They were in tears. And I'm looking at that stage, and all I could think was, I want to do that. I went home. I called my two best friends. My dad's horn player's daughter was a pianist. She took piano. And Nan Ball, the original drummer, she was taking drums. And I told them, let's start a girl band. So we did. We started practicing wherever we could at the homeboys' houses, whoever had equipment and stuff. And then we decided, well, we can't make this go forward unless we have 5 people. Then we asked the younger sisters, Susie and Mary Lou were the sisters. And I put the bass in Susie's hands, and you're going to play bass, because Dad had a bass.
Wow.
She wanted to be a drummer. She wanted to be a drummer, but Nan had already grabbed it. So she had to play bass, and she loves it now. I mean, that's her thing.
Yeah.
But that's how it came to pass. And then 2 weeks later, we had a record producer come down the basement, wanted to sign us.
Wow. And the rest is history, as they say, huh?
Yeah. It just started snowballing. We dared the local nightclub where all the homeboys played to put us up. All bravado. I said, yeah, we're playing better than they are. You put us up here. He said, okay, 2 weeks, you're on. You're on. Get up there, and you got 3 songs. And we did it.
That's so cool.
Hilarious.
Good.
Are you these days? Are you still writing music? Are you active with a band or anything like that?
I do projects that interest me at the time. I've done a lot of collaborations. I've done some with Susie. We did a German tour quite a few years ago, and TV projects. I did a female orchestra with Franz Gall. She passed on, but we did a live album in Europe for that. I did the Motivator thing with Marie and Cherie, a couple tracks on that. We did the FWCE thing on that one. I just do whatever comes my way that's fun. I really am running. I do less. I do a lot less now.
Yeah.
I'm in Austin. I'm helping with the business. I do anything. There's a lot of books, and stuff that come out that just want to get the history right.
Yeah.
I do interviews. I did one with Lizzie Hale lately because she's a good friend of mine.
Oh, from Hailstrom.
And we did. Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. To me, that's where females needed to go. I mean, she's incredible.
I just heard her her song with the Who band, HU, the band, the Who.
Yes, did you see that?
I did. It's amazing. We played it last week, as a matter of fact.
Oh my God, I had to write her as a God girl. Oh, that was so cool. And then she did something, I don't know if it was older, Come Together. She did with Flash and a couple other people. You know, she's doing things because she's stuck with COVID. We check in, you know, how are you doing? How are you doing? Because we had the same upbringing. And when we talked, it was such an amazing interview because we did it together. And we compared notes from the legacy history to now. And so little has changed, and it was so uplifting to be able to feel the same thing, you know, that we've both been through being women in this industry.
That's awesome.
It's just really a journey.
Yeah, the interview
Very cool.
I don't know if it was an interview with both of you at the same time or if it was done at different times, but it was really cool. I read that, and you know, it's I think
in Guitar Magazine.
Yeah, the headline is Spiritual Sisters, Z Hill and Patti Quattro Talk Shop. Yeah, that article.
Yep, we did it. We did it together on the phone. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I had gone to her concert. You know, we were. Oh my God, we couldn't stop gabbing all night. There's so much history that's so similar. So it just carried on from there. She's like a soul sister.
Awesome.
Well, speaking of history, if folks don't know, The Pleasure Seekers, What a Way to Die is newly remastered, I believe, in 2011. That's available. The History by The Cradle is newly remastered in 2010, I believe. So that stuff is out there if you're looking for any music from Patti's discography. I really appreciate you making the time to come on and chat with Tracy and I, and we've always been a fan from afar, and I thought, well, let's try to reach out and try to meet Patti, and it was pretty easy, and you were very accommodating, and I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. I had a blast.
Yeah.
Fun.
Tracy, any final words?
Well, I just want to say what an honor it was to have you come talk. We'd love to have you on again, maybe in the future, and just what an inspiration you've been, not only in general in rock music and in other types of music, but to women. You know, you're a guitar you're a guitar virtuoso. I mean, you're one of the most underrated guitar players I think around, and I just think that it's so awesome you came on the Church of Rock to talk with us, and I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. You can invite me anytime. I have a lot of thoughts on music and our eras and tons of stories.
Write that book.
Yeah, we'd love to read that book for sure.
Oh, I gotta write that. Oh my God. Oh my God. So many.
Oh my God, I bet you that would just be so fun and just cathartic at the same time. But
oh yeah.
You are listening to KSKQ. If you've just tuned in, we're speaking with the legendary Patti Quattro here at the Church of Rock radio show. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing, Patti?
Truth. Keep rocking the music. I mean, there's good stuff out there. You gotta look. There's so much. Music has changed so much, but there's still good stuff out there.
There sure is.
And I'm sure you're playing it. Yeah.
Well, we do a lot of older, but we do certainly keep the door open for new stuff, and we do appreciate the newer stuff. If it's good, we play it.
If it's good, that's right. Keep doing it.
Well, thanks.
They need the help because music is tough.
They do, and we're happy and we're grateful to have a radio show. It's kind of a dying art form, but we are proud to be doing it. And Patti, thanks again, and many blessings for a long life, and keep rocking, okay?
Thanks, Patti.
Thank you. Okay.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Take care.